Natlan's Archon quest has finally come to an end, and with that it was revealed to us that another Harbinger will come to the nation to take over the Pyro Gnosis. So today, we will review all the Harbingers in order to find out who Natlan's next antagonist is likely to be. The first thing is to separate them by probability. Then we will have the very unlikely ones, which will be those who have an almost zero chance. Those with a chance but unlikely, which are those that have a certain chance but are not expected to be. And finally, we have the probable ones, those who have the greatest chance of being the Gnosis collectors. Starting with the unlikely ones, we obviously have La Signora. The fair lady was expected by some to have a resurrection during Natlan's arc, which has not happened so far, and is unlikely to happen. Being dead, Signora's chances are almost zero. Continuing with the unlikely ones, we also have Il Capitano. As everyone who played the last Archon quest knows, the captain sacrificed himself with the intention of finally freeing the souls he was carrying. He is currently in a vegetative state, since the curse of immortality has not been removed from his body. Furthermore, the Harbinger himself said that since he had already lost to Mavuika, he would not try to take Gnosis again, which leaves his chances practically zero. Last on the list of unlikely ones is Sandrone. The marionette was said by the other Harbingers to be a person who only cares about her research and nothing else. Even if she decided to go after Gnosis, her current position is 7th, which raises doubts about how she could do it other than in a fight. Now, talking about those who have a chance but are not expected to come, we will start with Arlecchino. The knave was the last Harbinger to collect a Gnosis, bringing it from Fontaine. However, there is little point in her coming to Natlan. Arlecchino already had his arc during Fontaine's story and achieved Gnosis due to his cooperation during the prophecy and Nouvelette's lack of use of it. However, Natlan is different. Mavuika's power comes largely from Gnosis, and considering that not even Capitano was able to beat her in combat, it is unlikely that the knave will do so. Following the same probability, the next on the list is Pantalone. The Regrader is believed by many to not possess a vision, which raises doubts about its strength in combat, also given its 9th position among the Harbingers. However, Pantalone is probably the richest person in Tevat, which makes us believe that he must have incredible negotiation skills, which could be a way to obtain Gnosis. However, he is currently involved in the project Stuja, so this takes away his possibilities a bit. Still with the same probability, we have Pulcinella. The rooster is currently the mayor of Snezhnaya, which might make us believe that he is one of the closest Harbingers to Tsaritsa. Plus, as a politician, he must have good skills in bluffing and convincing people, which opens up a new path to obtain the Gnosis. However, we still don't know the level of his strength, but we believe that it is well below that of Capitano, which already rules out the possibility of achieving it through combat. Lastly in this probability, we have Piero. The current director of the Fatui is perhaps the only Harbinger who surpasses Capitano in combat skills, so if Mavuika is irreversible about the Gnosis, it is possible that they will have to go into combat, where the Jester would take charge. However, Piero is believed by many to only rise to prominence during the Canria arc, his nation of origin. Now we enter the list of those most likely to carry out this task, starting with Il Dottore. The Doctor was one of 4 Harbingers who managed to collect at least one Gnosis, bringing Sumerus and Inazumas. Dottore is the closest to Capitano in the rankings of the Fatui, and given the fact that the captain was weakening over time, it is not unreasonable to think that perhaps Dottore is already stronger than him. The Doctor was theorized to be in Natlan a short time ago, even said by a leaker, although unreliable, to have a boss fight during the patch. Maybe we'll see him again in the next versions. Continuing with the most likely, who comes next on the list is Tartaglia. Even though I know you're already tired of seeing his face in Archon quests, please hear me out. As we know, not long ago, Skirk, Child's Master, was introduced as being playable during the Natlan patch, which makes a new appearance of Tartaglia very possible, perhaps in a new interlude chapter. As we also know, Ajax is the furthest from Capitano in the Fatui rankings, which may rule out a possible takeover through combat, but perhaps Skirk will help his apprentice and be able to surpass the Pyro Archon. Let's stay tuned for upcoming updates. Finally, the one most likely to go after the Gnosis is Columbina. Since before the beginning of Natlan, many were already expecting to see the damselette in the Nation of War. We know literally nothing about Columbina other than her name, which makes expectations about her strength enormous. Many believe that she is the strongest within the organization, given the mystery that surrounds her. Furthermore, Natlan is a nation largely linked to the Sealies, something that Columbina is also often associated with, and she also has hair patterns similar to other Natlan characters. In my opinion, she will be the next Harbinger we will meet during our stay in the War Nation. And you? Who do you think will be the next Harbinger we are going to meet in Natlan? Leave it in the comments.